State University for addressing violations and threats to academic freedom, which is now your job. And so you've had months, please.
I have no authority to direct anybody to do anything until today. Would you agree with that?
You have authority to take it upon yourself to get smart on these issues. You seem to not have. And so we've done the research.
Well,
almost everybody else.
I'm going to go back and look at the facts from our perspective, the facts from all the things that you've said, and then we're going to have a factual discussion.
I think the question more to the point is, how is it that you haven't looked at those facts up until this point and gone through a presidential review process claiming that you have the good of this university as your best intention in entering this job, and yet not even taking the time to even speak beneath the surface of what we've presented to you in our limited time we've been able to spend together so far?
And that offer us a working definition of academic.
We'll let them just answer the question.
I'm going to ready for the next question.
Okay, so it's Pugil. Number 9, and this last one. So we're demanding that you work towards, we're demanding that you reject the current FSU contracts with the Charles Koch Foundation and create processes that will dismantle and destroy the influence of Charles Koch or related organizations. Is that something that
It's something to look into, absolutely.
It's clear that you're going to look into many things. You have a lot of things that you need to look into that you have yet to. So what I just want to point out to you is there currently exists on this campus a standing violation and standing threat to academic freedom. That's something you should have absolutely been well versed in before you started day 1 of your presidency. And so what we're asking you to do is take that incredibly seriously, which you seem not to be doing.
Well, that's your opinion. Okay, I'm going to look into it. I take everything that anybody brings to me terribly seriously.
I'd love to say
has any impact on this university.
That's great, except for the fact that earlier this year, when myself, Jerry, and the president of the Faculty Senate came to you asking you to take seriously these exact same issues, which you could have and probably should have gotten smart on before you voted for this anti-transparency law. You did not take them seriously. You voted for a law to...
The president of the Faculty Senate testified against you?
Oh, I'm sorry, Faculty Union. Thank you, please. Sorry, Jerry. So we came to your Senate Rules Committee, and if ever there were a place for you to take things seriously and do your homework, it would be in your own Senate committee. You did not take our testimony seriously. You did not seem to care at all that you were voting for a bill that obscured contracts that violate academic freedom at this university. So I just want to say, the fact that you have refused any meaningful dialogue or seemingly refused to prepare for this meeting at all at a university of all places is disappointing. But it's not surprising because all of our experiences with you to this point have basically been exactly the same. And if you're saying you want to come back and have meaningful dialogue based on facts, I mean, we've got facts. We have a quote where you directly lied to students and faculty. And if you're not willing to engage the fact that you said something that was specifically not true, and if we've made this claim to you already, and you have yet to go back and check whether or not you've gotten contributions from Koch Industries, also disappointing, also not surprising, but we have facts. You could have come prepared today. You did not. And so, just to revisit number 9, we're asking you to dismantle the influence of the Charles Koch Foundation on this university, your first day as president. Do you accept that demand, or do you refuse that?
I'm going to get with the appropriate people to see if legal consequences of doing that. Get with the faculty that are involved in that. Get with our own attorneys and see what obligations we have in regard to those contracts. Absolutely.
If I could just point out, the fact that these contracts were allowed to be signed and have gone on for so long, unchecked and unregulated, means that the people who have been involved so far are inadequate to address the problem. When you said you wanted to talk with people who were
faculty members.
So the faculty members that were involved in this, Bruce Benson, right. Well, if you've been paying attention, what made international news about your university that you're starting on the first day was, among many things, a 14-page memo that laid out a $105,000 bribe that was given to the chair of the economics department. Yeah, please. It's a very good read. It's very important. So yes, the fact. But because these contracts have been allowed to be perpetuated and re-signed in secret, we are the people that you need to talk to about this. We are the people who are actually trying to demand accountability. If you talk to the administration, if you talk to the faculty, you're talking to people who have been complicit with this process the entire time. And so I do not trust that they will give you sufficient counsel. That's why we're trying to meet with you, and we're trying to engage in meaningful dialogue, which you seem to be.
This morning.
Well, that's why we're here this morning. You're not here to engage in meaningful dialogue this morning. You're here to listen, if I
That's what I
recall.
said.
Okay,
That's
that's
what I said.
two totally different things. Dialogue and listening, very, very different. And so just again, number 9, we're asking you to remove the influence of the Charles Koch Foundation at FSU. Do you agree or do you refuse?
I'm going to look at the contract. I'm going to see what our obligations are. We're going to get back to you and let you know what our obligations are.
Just to let you know, your obligation is to protect academic freedom.
Absolutely. Thank you all very much.
We're not done, actually.
I thought that was 9.
No,
So we have an hour.
We have an hour.
Okay.
We're not done.
I thought you said that was it.
So,
Sorry.
just wanted to let you know that these demands fall in order. The first 3 take no outside research. The first one in particular is basically an admission of your lying to faculty and students about your course funding. The demands follow in order. They start with you addressing your lie. And they end by trying to correct that lie in defense of academic freedom. So I would like to ask you again, so I'm giving you a second chance on the first demand. The first demand is that you, John Thrasher, acknowledge that in a public statement that has been reviewed by media already, it has already been covered in the press, we have you on recording.
I'll go back and look at the recording and I'll go back and look
I
at
can
it.
give it to
Thank
you right now. The quote, again, I don't have a relationship with the Koch brothers. You say I've got contributions from them. You go look at my contributions. I've never received any contributions from the Koch brothers. And you have 3 separate contributions that entail.
I do not have a relationship.
Funding.
I've never met them. I don't know who they are. They walked in
I've
the
never
room.
received any contributions from the Koch brothers.
If I said that and I had,
I was trying to give you a second chance to start your first day by acknowledging that you lied and making
I'm
good on
not
that
acknowledging
lie.
I'm lying to
So
anybody
you are
intentionally.
starting your
Absolutely not.
first day defending your lie.
I'm not defending any lie.
Sorry, did you just say that you don't know who the Koch brothers are?
I've never met them. That's what I said.
Do you think that's a relevant point?
Don't know them. Never communicated
Do you
with
think
them.
that's a relevant point, though?
What was
You
the
have a
question?
financial relationship. Your claim was that you had no contributions. We're not accusing you of meeting them or knowing their faces. So that's a non-sequitur. So what we're actually trying to do is speak to the point. You have contributions. You said very matter-of-factly that you did not. Do you stand by your claim? Do you stand by your claim in that quote that you have no contributions from Koch?
I'll go back and look at my contribution list, is what I said.
You've had 2 months to look at your contribution list, and I just gave it to you again. So
I'll go back and look at it.
you've had 2 months, and then state press have been blamed for lying to students and faculty, and you're saying that you did not go back and review your own book.
I'm not going back and look at my contribution list.
Did you think that the issues that we brought up earlier would just go away, or that we would stop asking these questions simply because some bureaucratic tyranny appointed you president of our university? That if you didn't have to respond to our questions in those meetings, that you would never have to respond to them? And that
I'm
was
here
it?
today to listen to you all, and I said, in good faith, that we will look into the issues that you've raised, and we will continue to have a dialogue. If it's a productive dialogue, we'll have it. I'll do everything I can to make it productive.
One thing that you can do that we'd like you to agree to here now, which maybe you'll have a bit more success in because it's not a factual claim, is the process by which you became president was highly problematic, as perhaps you're familiar. We'd like for you to be accountable to the student body. We're asking that you agree to a series of public forums. President before you agreed to many public forums. We're not the only students that have issue with you being our president. And so we're asking that you
Sure,
meet with
I've
student
had
body.
a lot of public forums.
Cool. 1 month would be one month.
We'll see what the schedule looks like, and we can, absolutely. I intend to be on campus. I've been on campus some already. I've met with a lot of.
Being on campus, schedule an interview
I've been-
So are you saying that you will agree? to have
Will
an
you,
open forum for those
would
who
you let me finish, please? I mean, in all the honesty, I've let you finish your statements. I mean,
when you refuse to answer our questions.
when I
So you
refuse to
say,
give you the answer you want,
Why don't we just go ahead and,
I'm happy to have forums. I love forums. I'm happy to have as many as I can do.
so you will schedule an open forum to address these within a month.
I'm happy to have as many as I can have. I will look at the schedule and see what everybody's schedule is. During the holidays, we'll see what availability we have, and absolutely.
And when can we expect to hear back from you about scheduling us, a meeting with us
I'll get
directly?
with Barry, and we'll get with
To revisit these demands after you've done research into your own co-funding and then all of the other demands.
I'll get with Mary, and we'll get in touch with you, and whoever the appropriate person is to schedule the next meeting.
So sometime within-
considering your non-responsive attitude toward our questions in general, it's striking that when not concerned with an issue of research really, but I mean, you're the president of FSU. You're telling me that you don't know that you can promise us that you'll meet with us within 2 weeks? You don't know? You don't know that?
I'm going to get with I don't know what my schedule is today. So I know this, for instance, I know next Thursday and Friday, I'm out this Thursday and Friday, I'm gone. There was a period of time the following week that I'm gone. I've got to go back and look at my schedule. Assume that you have to look at yours too.
I think that all of us here can agree that within the next 2 weeks we can find a time to meet. If
I'll do
that's
my
okay
best.
with you,
I'll do
then we
my
can
best to
do
see
that.
what we can do.
So included in your best, we would absolutely recommend that you actually do some reading into this issue. That memo that you're holding is absolutely required reading, and should have been. And in fact, if you had any interest in the academic nature of this institution, you've already read that. Because again, it made international news. This is Florida State University, the same Florida State University this is your first day, I suppose, in presiding over. If you're claiming to be presiding over a university where there are violations of academic freedom that you're not even prepared to speak about, let alone address, well, I would just like to say personally, it's incredibly disappointing. But again, not surprising. But you've had a few months where people have brought these issues to your attention, and you absolutely should have looked into them if you took this job seriously whatsoever. I mean, if you ask anybody around the country, what comes to mind when you think of FSU, it goes football, rape culture, and Charles Koch.
Actually, I think now it goes football, race culture, John Thrasher, co-funded, president, co-contractor.
The point is that this is an incredibly serious matter. You don't seem to be taking it very seriously, but maybe today, being your first day on the job, perhaps you can do this reading and any other supplementary materials. We've certainly sent your way in the past, and we can send your way again. And
You sent me stuff in the past?
well, we tweet at you a whole bunch. We tweet at you all the time. Maybe you don't notice. Do you run your own Twitter, John?
Do I?
Okay, I didn't know. So we'd love to, and in fact demand, to hear back from you within the week about when we can actually meet with you, an actual meeting and not just a listening session. So today was supposed to be.
With you, not married.
No, in terms of the schedule, I'll ask people what their schedule is.
So today was actually supposed to be a meeting. This is the university, we conduct business here. And so today was supposed to be a meeting. Hopefully within a week you can hear back about when we can actually have a meeting, where you've actually done the work.
And finally, we wanted to let you know that collectively we do not recognize you as president of the university until you have signed and agreed to meet our demands. A president of Florida State University is a president who would have a working definition of academic freedom that they're willing to give at any moment and stand by. We feel that the sole purpose of having a president is to defend academic freedom and institutional governance at this university. And that our university.
Absolutely, 100%. Absolutely, I've
So
said that.
let's offer you one more time
Yeah.
the chance to give us a definition of academic freedom.
Academic freedom. It's the ability of our professors, our students, to have a free and open dialogue at a university. That's what it's about. That's why we're here today. We're having a free and open dialogue. And I respect your views. I hope you'll respect mine. I said a lot during the interview process.
One of them was a lie, which we'd like to give you another chance to acknowledge really quick.
Okay, thank you all for being here. We look forward to seeing you. Okay, thank you.